See, Coach Tamika Reed was one of the hottest names in women's college basketball. In fact, 3 years ago, when she took over a Hines team that won only 2 games the previous season, and by her second year, she led them to a Region 23 championship appearance and 21-7 mark. Yeah, she was an assistant at USM, ULL, and JSU to name a few. Now she takes over as head coach of the Lady Tigers. Coach!
Oh my goodness, I screamed. I was extremely excited, and when I got the phone call, and I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. And I had people kind of telling me, hey, you're the new head coach. And it's just an amazing feeling for me to get that phone call. Growing up right here around the corner to see Jackson State, hear the band, look at the teams play, and all the great tradition, to finally be a part of it as the head women's basketball coach is definitely a dream come true.
Coach Prime, as he told everyone to address him, said he understands the magnitude of this move across the country, but said he's focused all on JSU.
My concern is here. I'm aware of the magnitude of what we can accomplish when we accomplish it, but my concern is here, first and foremost, and to dominate what we're doing. And I'm always in the moment.
Coach Prime also spoke on Good Morning America, talking to another famous NFL player who's an HBCU product.
I am a HBCU product myself, so I think this, as you said, it gives some legitimacy to the programs. It does put you on the same playing field, which is very important for all these young men out there.
Sanders spoke about that sort of level playing field that HBCUs don't get at the moment.
Playing on ESPN2 and not ESPN. Not being invited to bowl games when some teams that are 6 and 5 or some teams that are really not worthy.
It's we've always been a team. People get up to play. Sometimes the teams they use that as motivation. Us being picked at the top. So hopefully we can turn that around and use it ourselves.
All right, Coach, and
in Madison, Alabama, Texas Southern was up 3-1 before JSU went to work. Bottom of the fourth, Wesley Reyes gets a base hit, make it a triple, a 2-run triple. The game is tied just like that. Then Marshall Louise follows that up with an RBI of his own to give JSU their first lead of the game in the fourth. It was a 4-4 game, though, in the sixth until Reyes strikes again. He was clutch, 3 RBIs on 2 hits. JSU back in front. Steven Davila does the rest, getting his 7th save, and JSU scores 7 unanswered to come back to win 7-4 over TSU.
Yeah, folks. So, with all that being said, the goal is to level the playing field. And everybody thinks Coach Prime, Coach Reed, A.D. Robinson, even Coach Johnson, who's been there for a while, you have a 3-year window. We all know when it comes to college football, at least, before the ADD generation took over, it took about 3 years to get the program developed, i.e. Ohio State, Florida, Texas, Utah, USC to a extent back in the early 2000s. So if we're going to go on that premise that in 3 years, all the coaches from Jackson State up and leave at the same time. Let's say some odd way Kennesaw State goes Division I and becomes all black. I don't know. Whatever happens, they just leave, right? What does that leave the SWAC and JSU in general within 3 years? If we're on the same trajectory we are now, not saying we're stopping right now. I'm saying if we're on the same trajectory, we're getting in new recruits, new facilities, every team stepping up because they don't want to be seen as the worst team in the conference. What happens within 3 years? Now, nobody would tell you this because no one wants to put their name on something like this. If you know my channel, you know I don't care. I think outside the box. To me, I think outside of the box factory. Let's just see what my crazy idea goes through. Within 3 years, hopefully this year, but within 3 years, I see Grambling winning the Celebration Bowl. And as every single MEAC fan, alum, supporter, or just SWAC hater or JSU hater in general will tell you, Grambling is the only one from the SWAC to ever win the Celebration Bowl. And they put it on wax. When they tell you that, it's almost like you hear Tupac beat in the background. And so I do think Grambling is back there. I'm not saying they're going to break the curse, but I do see Grambling within 3 years winning Celebration Bowl. At the same time, I see FAMU hosting a playoff game in Orlando. Yeah. I see it being a compromise. I can even see a certain team I could pull out of the hat who's from Atlanta agreeing that is a neutral stadium, sort of like another team from Georgia that plays down there or in Jacksonville, because it's a neutral site between Jacksonville and Gainesville and Athens. But I do see FAMU hosting a playoff game in Orlando. You're like, well, damn, coach. What about the shiny new toy? What about Jackson State football? You ain't said one thing about Deion Sanders the whole time. You showed the video, but you ain't said nothing about his team or none of that. So, if you see Grambling within 3 years winning the Celebration Bowl, you see FAMU hosting a playoff game in Orlando, what do you see happening with Coach Prime? If he stays the whole 3 years, on the trajectory they are right now, getting recruits in and developing people and having the coaching staff being consistent, there is no one in hell going to stop them from doing this. That is his end game for Jackson State. Celebration Bowl victories are great. Jackson State will get one before 3 years are up. But because the SWAC decides to put this Super Bowl, being FAMU versus Jackson State, on the beginning game of the season, all it takes is 1 year to slip up and let FAMU win that first game. And then you're no longer playing for the Celebration Bowl. You're playing for the FCS playoff. And the perfect storm would be if this year Jackson State slips up and then runs the table. FAMU runs the table, but loses to Alabama A&M. Alabama A&M somehow way runs the table. This is a fantasy. This is what I'm saying. Leave me alone. Alabama A&M goes to Celebration Bowl, or goes to the SWAC championship game. FAMU hosts a playoff game, and Jackson State hosts a playoff game. And then it's just a perfect storm. But this is the end game. And no, I'm not stopping at this football, because I see things differently. Now, the perfect storm, I've learned in my life, never make a black woman mad. It's just not going to end well with you. It ain't going to happen. Miss Reed, I'm calling Miss Reed, Miss Coach Reed, is going to do something St. Peter's like pretty soon. I believe this year will set up for them to make a run in the Sweet 16 if they had got past LSU. I believe next year they're going to have such a great record, they won't have no 14 seed. They'll have a top 6 seed, possibly even top 5. Because you cannot tell me that there were 30 teams out there better than Jackson State. It's just not possible. So, with them having the top seed like that, They're going to host a playoff game or playoff region. And I see them getting an automatic bid. I'm sorry, my bad. An at-large bid. And the team from the SWAC that gets the automatic bid, FAMU. You can't tell me that a coach with this kind of accreditation, if she can get the right players in, just the right players in, and recruit Florida. To me, Florida is a big recruiting ground for women. And she's already proven she can recruit over there being a USF. I see FAMU getting in there on the automatic bid and Jackson State at large. It'll be the first time, men's or women's, the HBCU conference sent 2 teams in the tournament for the first at the same time. And I do believe, I know I sound like Obama. Yes, we can. I do believe that FAMU would not be a 16 seed, which means no play-in tournament. There'll be a 14 as well. And what else? I mean, Coach, you just talking about this within 3 years. I can see that. But somebody gonna be dumb enough, and I mean somebody will be dumb enough to put Jackson State on an automatic bid in Alabama for a regional tournament for the playoffs. Somebody will be that dumb to do that. When that happens, the baseball team will make a Coastal Carolina type run. They've been too good for too long. Now with the recruits popping up, getting bigger and better, you can't keep a good team down. Which I'm not saying they're gonna take that back. Coastal Carolina won the whole thing. I'm not gonna say they're gonna win the whole thing, but I'm gonna say the name will be out there. And the best thing about having one team be somewhat dominant over a conference is that people, it's either you like them or you hate them. But what you're gonna do, you're gonna fight to take them down. And that's gonna level the playing field. Perfect example. Alabama has been dominant in football. They were the big bad bully on the block. Clemson came out of nowhere. Georgia came out of nowhere. It was either you're with them or you're against them. The ratings went up, the money went up. FAMU has a chance, and Grambling has a chance to be the Clemson and the Georgia of SWAC football. Look at the Yankees. They bought championship after championship. You know Jackson ain't buying championships, but they keep going undefeated in SWAC play. You're going to have the Tigers versus everyone else. And we're all rooting for the women to win. But you let Jackson State get to the Elite 8 and FAMU to the field of 32. All these women that are going to Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Kentucky. We ain't saying South Carolina because, you know, Dawn State is on a whole nother level. We'll leave her alone. We learn from Howard, okay? But all these schools in the South, your footprint is HBCUs. So that's when the Kim Mulkey's got to worry. You won't be playing Destiny's Child song. Miss Reed gonna have you playing Respect from Aretha Franklin. I'm Coach Simmons. I'm out.
We knew that there were concerns from a travel standpoint for Bethune, and we knew that there were some concerns from an accreditation standpoint. But we checked off all of those boxes, and Bethune was a great fit for the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and they will enhance our brand. They will enhance what we're doing, and quite frankly, they have now created a super black college football conference, a super college basketball conference, a super black college baseball conference, all the way down to all 18 sports. We are a super conference. When you have all of the major black college schools in the states from Texas all the way to Florida, that makes you a super conference, and I'm just proud to be commissioner.